I haven't gone live in 10 days because I had to move last week, and I've been couch surfing, to put it in flattering terms. I've been couch surfing, which feels like some kind of, it's like the same way they try to glamorize the internet. Oh, you're surfing the web. You're not really, I mean, surfing implies like this kind of like spray in your face and like this water pressure, and just like, in that sense, it's like surfing. It feels like the couch is like a surfboard, and like you're just beating against like harsh Mother Nature forces, kind of like trying to destroy you. And you're just trying to hold on for dear life. In that sense, it is like surfing. It's not, I mean, I guess it's exhilarating in a certain way. The way I'm looking at it is like, I was pretty isolated in that apartment for the last 2 years in a way that I just adored and never wanted to end. But, in a certain way, like it's good for me to go out and be with people and try new things, and I don't always do that if I'm left to my own druthers. I'll just kind of be happy to be alone and stay at home and just kind of veg out until the next open mic, till the next show. But the way I'm looking at it is like I'm almost doing, these are almost like immersive portraits that I'm doing, where I'm living with different, like I stayed with Ed a couple days last week, and I've been staying here. Thanks a million, thank you infinitely to the Valium housewife for letting me crash on the Byron-esque kind of Don Juan daybed here. I don't know, there's probably some kind of fancy name for this piece of furniture. I don't know what it is, but it feels, this whole apartment feels like some kind of romantic poetry kind of environment. There's a snake. There's a big broadsword right here. There's a big sword. I don't even know if I can even show that on YouTube. It's purely decorative, but I feel like that's something that's that kind of opulence. This kind of like, I don't know, queer opulence. That Baudelaire would have this furniture. Or, oh God, it's just been such a crazy. So I should let me get right into this. The other day on in front of KGB, I'm going into KGB for the open mic, and this is the first time I've done it homeless, so I'm kind of disheveled, and the circumstances are a little bit different. And I'm going in, and I hear this guy from out of nowhere, "Hey Matt." I look over, it's Philip Marinovich. It was amazing. He just like appeared, like this kind of the Zen master that he is. And I've never met him before. I don't know how he knew my, but he subscribed to the YouTube a few weeks ago, which is awesome. I was so, that was like huge for me when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so we had a nice conversation for a sec, but it was, it's like, I don't know, when you're on the mystical journey, the teachers appear. Boog City was Sunday. I went to Boog City on Sunday. I did my reading. So it's, even though I've been homeless, I got a lot going on. System Lord is Friday. I was supposed to have a reading in early March. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But it's chaotic. So I'm just trying to hold on to the surfboard as I couch surf my way to the top. And to see, I mean, well, that's what Bob Dylan did, right? When in his first year in New York, he was couch surfing, if you want to put it that way, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that was easier to do back then. Not that many people have their own space or have extra space to lend. Brooklyn, New York is such a square footage, it's high dollar per square foot this generation. So, I mean, we're pretty far out. We're by Broadway Junction, which, to be honest, this is where, like, all of the cool shit is. Like, Tiny Cupboard is like this comedy club That's like where all the kind of hipster or stand up shit. I mean, I guess hipster is kind of an obsolete word, but it's like we're all like I don't know, people who are just like not rich who can afford to live in New York do stand up. People who probably moved to New York trying to make it are probably more likely to do stand up maybe at some place like Tiny Cupboard, just because like they're more likely to live out here, I guess. Plus, all the young people live out here, so in a certain way, it's like it's glamorous, or it's more the center is here, right? Living in Manhattan, you're actually way off center. They think, oh, Manhattan, that's you know, we go visit there maybe to go to museums or something, but like nobody really lives there. There's no action really there. It's not even like thought of necessarily as like uh, a place you can live. You know, like that's why when I was living there, it was such a pleasant surprise because it was like you when you're living in Brooklyn, like somebody the other day said Brooklyn is better because you have more space, and it's like, well, I understand why somebody my age might think that way because we've never really had the opportunity to live in Manhattan, and there are other manners of convenience that you get. You know, there are places in Manhattan like if you're rich, you can afford a certain amount of space. But I get it. It is like a dense, condensed, compressed, high volume, vertical place, and I'm into that. I loved it. I preferred it actually. To me, that's what New York is. Brooklyn being this kind of horizontal, it feels like farmland. Every time I'm in Brooklyn, I feel like I'm picturing like Walt Whitman's house, like that, or like that house at Prospect Park that's like from the 1800s. That's like this is like the house that Walt Whitman probably grew up in on Long Island. That's what I picture when I picture Brooklyn. I just picture like a pasture. I know that that's like absurd. I just don't want to get caught in like the vortex of like uh you know, I think one reason why people are starting to pay attention is because we have this anchor in Manhattan in the center of like media power, blah blah blah. Uh so I'd like to live there again. That is definitely the goal. You know, if I had money, if I could live anywhere, I would live there. Uh Even you know, Brooklyn is definitely like where I cut my teeth and like where I kind of learned a lot of what I learned, but like I think it's also kind of like still kind of like the minor league. It's no, don't get me wrong, it's like one of the cultural centers of the United States, definitely, and the world for that matter, but it's exciting being out here living la vie boheme because it really feels that way. I mean, everybody's unemployed, nobody has any money, nobody knows how they're gonna. I'm living with sex workers. We're on a day to day, like get dabs, get more weed, go to the bodega, get food. We're taking it one day at a time here. That's my couch surfing philosophy. The way I look at it, and I feel like if I keep doing shows and I just announce at every show I do, hey, I need a place to stay, particularly with the open mic. I mean, one of the best things about doing this is, and I'm sorry to talk about it so much. I mean, there's a lot of other things going on. It's just the weekly thing, and it's the thing that kind of everybody has in common. It's one of the prime meeting grounds, right? Every week, a lot of the people that I've met over the past, it's been almost 6 months. It's almost our 6 month anniversary. I think March 19th it will have been 6 months we've been doing it. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. But like, you know, now I know all these people. They like, they feel like well, we are. We're a part. It's a community, and so like in that way, people want to help each other out. People are forming collaborations, you know, organically. People make friends with each other. They go off. They start a band. They play music. They write together. They start projects together. Everybody's vlogging. Nobody else is live streaming really that I've seen. Maybe more people need to get on the live streams, but we've got vloggers out there. I know I'm all over the place. I haven't really done this in a while, and my life is all over the place. As you can see, I got my bags everywhere. I got a bunch of boxes still at the place I have to get. I don't even know where I'm going to move. If I'm, maybe I'll just move all my stuff into storage and just couch surf until I hit it big, or I'd like to, I wouldn't have a problem with getting a job, but part of what I'm trying to maintain is that apartment was so stable, and there was so much ease and relaxation, and I had command over my own time and my own life to a complete extent. And it was so beautiful. That's all I ever wanted. All I ever wanted was that apartment. That's all I ever wanted in life. And I was doing so good with it. We were changing the world incrementally, a little bit at a time. And but it helped. It was sort of a way of subsidizing being able to do all of the performance I've done, but also the open mic in particular. I could do that for a few months without getting paid and not worry about it, because I didn't have to worry about paying my rent. I had, I could walk there every week. I didn't have to get on the train. I didn't have to pay to go to the open mic. It was just like I'd walk, it was a nice walk. I loved doing it. I was walking to KGB for readings and stuff pretty regularly before that anyway. So having the literary bar within sort of walking distance was like a huge, huge advantage, obviously. And one of the prime reasons I was able to set that up. So now, as my life is in this flux and where it's likely, I probably won't live, maybe I should manifest, I'd like to live within walking distance of KGB. If possible. It is possible. Look, my hair looks like shit. This is soft water they have out here. So I'm just, that's the thing, obviously, that needs to stay working and stay stable. And, there might, it's hills and valleys. There, like this last week, President's Day, a lot of people canceled because it's not uncommon for that, particularly if, the weather's nice. That was a 3-day weekend. So, even I was out the night before till 4 a.m. It was Boog City. So I went to Boog City, and then we all went out afterwards. I literally didn't get to sleep till 4 a.m. And so I get it. A lot of people were hungover. A lot of people were sick. It was nice weather all weekend, so people had probably been partying all weekend. I think Ed's party was on Friday. And so a lot of people canceled, which sucks for me because I didn't get paid. We made... Well, this is like a particularly not great time for me to not make money, because I really need all I can get, and I'm on very thin ice as to once again, if I can even sustain this, right? I don't have a job or a permanent apartment, so it's like obviously I want to take this as far as I can, and things are really starting to happen for me. I guess that's just life. You need to take the leap of faith, but it would have been easier if this started happening a year ago, right? And I'd have a whole nother year in the apartment to just kind of build. Now it's I just need to find some kind of stability, kind of. The tarot cards said that there would be a setback and to not worry about it. This is normal, it's not always growth. It's not always moving forward. It's 2 steps forward, it's 1 step back sometimes. And there's always periods of growth and kind of retraction. That's That's healthy. But I need to make money. I also not to need to not get tricked by money and obsess over it and think that it matters. I mean it does, but like only in their world. Not to me. To me it's only energy. My belief is I create good energy, I create good karma. I'll be taken care of by the angels. And you know, sometimes you have to go through periods of try. I mean, I've had a pretty easy fucking time the last almost 2 years. You know, basically since March 1st, 2021, my life was like a bowl of cherries. It was the greatest fucking thing that ever happened to me, ever. Now, I need to get rich and famous so I can get back. I want to be riding my fucking scooter around Central Park as soon as goddamn possible from my 2-bedroom apartment in downtown Manhattan. Ideally in the West Village. I'm ready for a townhouse in the West Village. And that I'm manifesting it for 2023. Very soon. I'm moving in very soon. This is my astrology forecast. But it's just, you know, you still walk the path. The open mic has been a great thing, but like it's also important for me to do these other readings, and my world is bigger than that. And sort of like, you know, I'm getting caught up with like a particular social group, which has been a lot of fun, but like it's also like I need to have an individuality and to focus on being able to kind of, you know, like the Boog City thing. That was an important thing for me, big time. Like I totally respect that. I really admire what David Kirschenbaum does. It's phenomenal. The fact that he throws a 3-day poetry festival twice a year with bands like covering classic albums and like the most amazing, you know, it's like a huge fucking, it's like Bonnaroo or something. It's like dozens and dozens of poets, bands, it's multiple venues. It's like, but it's very organic and he does it in this very relaxed. He posts like his notes every day. It's so incredibly well documented and archived in like a beautifully kind of like a poet would. He wrote this amazing recap that was just like such a poet's prose kind of like, but you know, just impeccable. He lives in Chelsea. He lives like a few blocks from where I was. It sucks that I'm meeting all these people now. Like Torn Page was on Monday. I could have gone to that if I still lived there. But I'm way the fuck out in Cool Town here. And I think this is like near Brownsville. We're literally off Chauncey. J-Stop, which is cool. I'm happy to be dipped back in the kind of milieu. And I'm learning a lot. I mean, Caitlin and Greta, who I'm staying with, are just like ultra hip. So I'm just like listening to tons of cool music and like hearing tons of cool hot slang. I read Caitlin's manuscript. It's phenomenal. Look for that coming soon. So it's like, these are like residencies. I'm like studying. I'm in studio. These are studio visits. You know, I'm looking at it like, this is like the James Schuyler Art News profile. Alex Katz paints a picture or whatever. This is my, like, I'm living in studio with the artists. I'm seeing their whole kind of like circumference of who they are. How, and it's cool. You know, it's immersive. It's immersive research in lives of the poets. And maybe this is truer to the open mic. Maybe I should just live with a different person every week. That would be kind of like the most pure way to do the open mic. That way I really get to know my flock, my constituents, or, you know, the open micers, the performers, you know, the artists, the entertainers, the show, the whole fucking show. So yeah, here I am on Lord Byron's couch with the sword and the fencing mask and the boa constrictor. There's literally a boa constrictor sleeping. I was sleeping in the same room as the snake the first couple nights I was here, which is cool. I mean, the snake is beautiful. It's a gentle creature. It's a reptile. I don't know. Is that just something that's a natural? My skin was kind of breaking out and all these, like, my skin was splitting and things. I'm not sure if it's because of the snake, if it's because of the heat lamps and the moisture. I mean, it's like a reptile house. And some people have snakes. I don't know. That's Bohemia, okay? People have snakes. They have swords, and there's danger. People are on speed. They're getting tattoos. They're out tattooing somebody right now. They took the train to Chinatown to give someone a tattoo. That's how hip they are. And so, I'm getting my edge back by going deep into Brooklyn and, being exposed to these new things. It's good. That's like travel, right? It's going to new worlds, learning new things. And so, they're going on a tattoo tour soon. They're going to LA and the West Coast and stuff to do tattoos. That's one really, why not be a tattoo artist? There are jobs out there, great jobs. Become a tattoo artist. The tattoo economy is stronger than it has ever been. Seriously, I realized this about a decade ago when we were doing these documentaries for Ohio Appalachian Collaborative about how the Rust Belt and all this shit was dead. We went to Zanesville, Ohio. Literally the only fucking business on Main Street was a fucking tattoo parlor. Like the fucking, like, stained skin, like, reptilian kind of piercing, slither kind of reality. That is going strong. In meth country, the meth economy, the tattoo economy. Who says America is, we need to make America great again? It's still great. Our tattoos are more badass than they've ever fucking been. You can travel the world. And it's a beautiful form of art. It's natural. It's natural for human beings to do this. I don't have any tattoos. I think they're portals for the devil. And I'm staying pure, and I'm staying in the light, and I'm staying naive. I think I was overprotected. I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple days, because I could see my dad being in this situation. This is like a very bohemian, like this is kind of, when he was in his 20s or whatever, they did all kind of quaaludes, and they just popped, they'd have a galaxy full of pills in their hand, and they just take all of them. They didn't even think about what they were. Everybody was doing speed. And this is a New York school thing, too, right? Everybody's on goddamn speed. Ted Berrigan. Speed was responsible. It was a big part. And I'm not doing any pills. I'm not going near that shit. I'll stay with my dab. That's like as far, and maybe I'll do some psychedelics or whatever, but not right now. I'm trying to stay a little bit. I don't even know what the fucking move is. I'm just trying to be alive and observe and take down details and learning, and I have faith. Like it will carry me through. I just keep walking. The hermit's lamp only lights a couple steps ahead. You can't see that far ahead in the I pulled the hermit card. So they're allowing me to sleep in the living room on this couch, even though they said I was living kind of like the hermit. Because all the action is in the smoking room and kind of in there. I need a lot of alone time, okay? I'm sensitive. I need to recharge. I have to, the past week, I've literally just been dealing with people nonstop. And big personalities and extroverted personalities who just need a lot of constant attention. And people on speed who will chalk your fucking face off, which is fine. I'm happy to sit and absorb. But just if I could have every conversation, if I could just lay down and close my eyes and put a pillow over my head, and you just talk to me about whatever the fuck you want to talk to me about, I will listen to you. Don't make me react. The hard part is reacting and going, oh yeah, oh cool, amazing, wow, fantastic. I'm like a emotional sex worker for people's well-being. I'm just trying to support whatever the fuck they're saying. I'm not disagreeable. I'm very agreeable, and I'm adding positive energy even as I don't give a fuck, really. I try to give a fuck about what you're saying, and so therefore I do give a fuck because I'm alive, and that's meditation. You accept all of it. It's all beautiful. It's all wonderful, and it's kind of all a gift. It's all meaning. There's all purpose to all of it. And so these they're cool as fuck, man. I'm having a great time just chilling. I feel like I'm in college. That's not good, but I was ready to settle down and be a family man. Now here I am, couch, I got all my bags. I'm living out of a suitcase again. This is what I was doing 10 years ago. And like, I'm fine with it, but it was nice to have a 2-bedroom apartment that cost $600 a month for a change. I don't know how many millennials know that experience at this point. Apparently Mexico's cheap. Maybe I should take my fucking live stream to Mexico. The idea, I guess, would be to go to become some kind of internet famous person, so that way you could just do your shit from wherever. But I like having a show in fucking New York City. I like living in Manhattan. I want to get on NBC. Come on. I'm perfect I'm NBC material. So anyway, I need some kind of money income thing, I guess. I don't really care about that stuff, and I don't really want to worry about that stuff. That's one of the things that was nice about the last 2 years, was it felt just like, as long as I could maintain kind of my kind of habits, I didn't even have to think about money. But most people are plunged into this life where they just have to, they're in a hell of work, and that's one of the reasons why I think people are so surprised by, like, my energy or, like, the open mic. I'm able to be so positive and shit, because honestly, it was easy when I didn't have to do anything the whole rest of the week except go to other fucking open mics, and, like, smoke weed all day and meet people. I was treating it like a job. Going to these other open mics is a way of bringing people and getting the word out. You meet people there, they come to KGB, they spend money. So it's like, I'm doing work, really. And I'm trying to get better as a performer. That's why I do this stand-up comedy shit, even though it's kind of just like, I don't know, I like bombing. These people deserve to be shook up. The comedy world needs a big time. That's why they're all getting tackled and shit on stage, because they suck. Honestly, I'm on the people attacking the comedians side at this point. Like, Chappelle deserves to be tackled for the shit he said. I'm not advocating violence or anything like that, but I think they can do better. They get away with feeling great about their backward ass opinions. But Boog City went pretty well. I read my Led Zeppelin poem, and I'm kind of in a Led Zeppelin mood. When things get tough, you got to get tough. You need hard music. You need big bombastic music to fight back. At least that's what equips me. When things get rough for me, that's when I turn on the Van Halen and the David Lee Roth and the big wow, because you need combat hippie, right? As David Lee Roth says, we need the combat hippie vibe. Speak softly but carry a big peace, but also protection and taking care of business. It's a brutal town. New York is a brutal town, and the momentum can turn on you like that. New York, it ebbs and flows, and it treats you well. The last couple of years, New York was really sucking my dick. I'm sorry to put it that way. I had to. The channeling just told me to say that, okay? That wasn't I knew it was inappropriate. I just went for it anyway because that was the words that popped into my head from God. So blame God. But New York was really treating me well. I deserved it. I've dumped a lot of time into this and energy and pain and tears. And, you know, how many times? And what have I got for it? You know, I've grown. I've learned. But I've been eating humble pie and living on gruel. I'm ready for the 16-course prefix, okay, at Per Se. I'm ready to be wined and dined and 69 by this goddamn wonderful town, my favorite. But I also want to see the world. I'm also just kind of done. I just want to go somewhere else. I don't want to live anywhere else, but like, I feel like I need a little break or something, which is hard because I'm right in the fire of it right now. I'm right in the smelt of it. And so I need to hang tough and to fight and to get in there and to really push. And I need to do it alone. I think I'm getting wrapped up too much in this group effort thing. And it's like, I don't even know what the fucking, like, people need to buy my books, and they do. People are buying my books. And if those people buy my books, I think people everywhere would buy my books. So somebody, goddammit, in a major media publication, just help me out, for Christ's sake. I've got a cavity in my rear left molar that's developing.